Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Zile Yu. I'm the managing partner of our Quantum Law Group. I'm also a lecturer at the College of Law and a consultant at Meridian Lawyers. Today, I guess we'll be discussing a little bit about technology and the law.
Okay, so the first question for you is, what do you believe are the biggest challenges currently facing the legal tech field? What technological innovation could help overcome these challenges?
One of the biggest challenges facing the legal field is that a lot of law firms and organizations are a bit stuck in doing what they've been doing for quite some time. Law is a very, very old profession. We're looking at an industry that spans over 2,000 years. So we have various challenges which include resisting change. There's also various skills that need to be bridged. And then there's a balancing process in relation to technology and traditional practice. Now, with resistance, with the legal industry, we're quite peculiar in the sense that with our industry, there are various professional risk management considerations which need to be considered. There is also the lack of understanding, defiance with our professionals to take up technology, and with the understanding also comes the fear of being obsolete. So all that results in a resistance, if you will, to adopt new technology. Furthermore, a lot of our members in our profession, they usually they didn't grow up as with technology as opposed to a lot of the younger generations. So in that sense, the skills gap may be a bit an issue that needs to be addressed with more training. And likewise with the balancing between technology and traditional practice, it is important to ensure that there is the balance between human facets of legal practice and whilst adopting the advantages that technology brings us, as with the legal industry and legal work, it is deeply personal. There are intricate human issues. There are detailed legal interpretations which needs to be performed. So we do need to ensure that technology enhances rather than substitutes the humanistic part of legal work. And as we approach towards an era supported by AI, professionals, we need to be trained to handle how AI is going to change the industry and also utilize the advantage of AI to perform routine tasks, but ensure that lawyers preserve their critical role in making strategic decisions. Now, with newly graduated professionals, they would need a lot of developments in interpersonal skills, attention to detail, but however, they come with the advantages of growing up in a rapid technological pace, and they very, very much taken to technology. So there's also generational shifts which can result in the better adoption of technology in our industry. Now, there are also some other issues with technology, being privacy and security concerns. And as we delve more and more into the adoption of technology, these items need to be addressed. But one very good adoption of technology would be COVID. And just like how COVID took the world by surprise, law firms and our industry have similarly adopted technology to ensure that we are kept up with the demands in our industry.
Okay, so the second question is that what key insights or takeaways have you gained from participating in Global Legal Hackathon and the Australia Legal Tech Summit?
There are a few insights. Basically, with a Global Legal Hackathon and the Legal Tech Summit, a hackathon is where participants gather and then they have 2 or 3 for about 48 hours to actually develop a solution to a problem. And the Legal Tech Summit is where the industry leaders gather to share thoughts and ideas on the trends in the industry and inform others. Now, with these events, I guess, deduce a few principles where collaboration is key, because these events foster collaboration between professionals, technologists, innovators, and a range of other, if you will, supporters of the industry, which are absolutely critical. There is the exchange of ideas and expertise, which allows the creation of innovative solutions. We can focus on the development of user-centric solutions. So successful innovations are not just ones which are effective, but they're user-friendly and they're designed with the users in mind. And these allow the participation of the user as well as the generation of ideas. And the other thing is, especially with the hackathons, they allow for agility and experimentation. As given the short time frame, hackathons encourage rapid prototyping, where participants are encouraged to just develop something which they can present. Too often we are searching for the perfect solution, and hackathons provide that opportunities to just have an agile approach for quick development, testing of ideas, and this accelerates the innovation progress and provides a mindset of innovation. And of course, there's also knowledge sharing and networking, which different participants from a range of backgrounds can gather.
Okay, so what technology tools do you consider indispensable for modern law firms, and how do these tools enhance the operational efficiency and client service quality of the firm?
Well, there are a few tools which are quite important and generally law firms absolutely need. These are practice management software. Law firms can also benefit from AI-powered legal research, client relationship management software. There's also various other helpful task management and workflow software too, and of course secure communications platforms. And I guess I'll quickly address each in turn. Where with practice management software, that is effectively an integrated technology suite which allows a range of software functions to be consolidated into a single platform. This allows lawyers in centralizing and managing their matters, workflows, and they can operate on it, having document management, calendar scheduling, case tracking, billing, and also invoicing. So there's also usually task management software and workflows built into these types of software. So effectively, it's like the core and engine of a firm. Now, legal research can be powered by AI, which effectively makes a lot of things much more faster and efficient. Of course, care needs to be used in conjunction with any use of AI, and this, if used effectively, allows legal research to be faster, more effective, and many practice management software are implementing AI into their offerings. With CRM systems, they allow a comprehensive solution for managing client interactions, tracking leads, improving client service, and by centralizing client information, automated communication, this allows a law firm to actually grow its practice and be able to scale. And finally, with communication, that decentralizes a bit about how a law firm can operate and allows law firms to communicate remotely with clients, allowing a greater geographical service. So gone are the days where we need to go into a lawyer's office and actually meet with the lawyer to actually take on a matter. We can just have a remote conference. And these enable seamless communication between the lawyers and the clients, and also between the lawyers and the lawyers. So lawyers can now tap into talent all around the world from different jurisdictions, ensuring that there's flexible working arrangements.
So with the increasing application of artificial intelligence technology, data privacy and security issues are becoming more important. Do you think the existing legal framework is sufficient to protect personal privacy?
Well, firstly, in relation to the increasing regulation and complexity in the legal environment, now the legal environment, especially in Australia, has become more regulated and complex, which poses challenges for both lawyers and other organisations. Now, this increased complexity stems from various factors, changes in law, technological advancements, globalisation, and also different and a higher level of social awareness and societal expectations in relation to the effects of technology. Now, consequently, legal practitioners are facing an ever-increasing array of compliance requirements, and this requires an evolution in the standard of our legal services, so that if we are proactive and flexible in our approach, this helps us navigate this landscape a bit better. Now, with the legislative reforms, there are a range of areas which, from governance, data privacy, environmental protection, consumer rights, financial regulations, and the privacy laws, and especially the introduction of the notifiable data breaches scheme. These all have increased obligations on organisations to protect personal information and report breaches, and accordingly then the burden also gets borne by law firms who needs to advise those organisations in relation to their compliance obligations, and in the event of an actual cyber attack or data breach, their legal rights and remedies, and also compliance obligations. Likewise, there's also been increasing reforms in anti-money laundering, which also further imposes compliance obligations on a range of businesses. Now, with the pace of technological innovation, we have wonderful technologies which are changing the world literally, such as AI, blockchain, and a software which, or a technology which we take for granted, cloud computing. These provide an level of efficiency which we previously have never had in human history. Now, with all this transformative potential, there are new legal and regulatory issues, and whilst these technology are relatively infant in their level of maturity, legal professionals must address concerns in relation to data security, privacy obligations, cybersecurity, IP rights, accountability, and also ethics in relation to how these technologies are to be used. And also, this is more complicated with the globalization and the cross-border nature of how technology can be transported, but the limitations of how law is jurisdictional based. Mm-hmm. So with all that, as businesses have a higher obligation, legal professionals similarly need to meet those challenges in advising the businesses in relation to their obligations accordingly. Now, with the current impact of AI, it's probably likely the case that the existing laws currently do not fully address AI facilitated harm or take a proactive approach currently, as and it's just the nature of regulation and compliance, where as with any technology, the technology comes out and then the laws effectively come to regulate to ensure that the harm is mitigated while the benefits can be derived by society. Now, with all that, some areas that we do need to consider are privacy, safety, the ownership of our intellectual property, which are applicable to a broad array of areas. With the nature of how laws are developed, jurisdictionally based, this could lead to differing standards in different countries and different states in relation to the level of protection and standards. So a more harmonized approach or a more comprehensive approach would enhance a greater level of protection across all jurisdictions if there is a unified approach. Likewise, with how AI systems which take in a huge amount of data, there should be a level of transparency in how they handle such data and their data handling practices. Legal frameworks should ensure that there's clear guidelines for how that data is used, retained, stored, and also if there is a data breach, what to do in those scenarios. With that and the risks involved, obviously security becomes another consideration, which there should also be levels of requirements to minimize harm by setting the level of security, especially with so much data. And of course, the individual's right to actually access and change or correct any misinformed data or delete their personal data. There should be regulation and frameworks as to how individuals can have control over their own information.
Good. So the last question today for you is, how do you view the application of artificial intelligence in legal consulting and contract review? Does the automation pose a threat to traditional legal professions?
Okay, so I'll address the second part. Firstly is automation doesn't really pose a threat to the profession. If anything, it enhances the efficiency of the profession and what we can do. Now, the use of AI in legal consulting and contract review offers several benefits such as efficiency. It can analyze relatively quickly large volumes of data, identify patterns, flag potential issues, resulting in faster and more accurate outcomes. Cost saving, we can have time and resources saved with the use of AI, with additional insights from this data that allows enhanced decision making by stakeholders. And all that are very, very good benefits in relation to how these can help, I guess, our profession. However, on the other hand, AI could potentially have problematic issues in the industry where, for example, AI can produce inaccurate responses, sometimes responses which are not even real. Now, for these instances, they could create false contents, reference non-existing cases, and accordingly it's important for legal practitioners to implement safeguards to actually check and verify the content generated by any such tools. There's been some examples where lawyers have used ChatGPT for research and filed documents for cases that don't exist. And the lawyer who admitted that they had no prior experience with using this technology and was not aware that the content could be false. Nevertheless, they were still held accountable by the courts and effectively, and they were fined accordingly. Likewise, ChatGPT has also been sued after there's been facts which which have been wrong. Although those content was removed of wrongful content, it's clear that how inaccuracies could lead to serious repercussions. However, it is not to say this is purely the issue with the technology. It is both the usage, the experience, the understanding limitations with the technology can be performed. For example, it's trying to use a bicycle to fly is not going to happen. But that's not to say the bicycle is bad, right? It depends on both the technology and the user. So accordingly, to minimize harm, better understanding of the limitations should be a priority, and that can be done through education, training, and awareness. Now, with other issues, there's also confidentiality issues. AI has experienced data breaches where details in relation to questions by other users and also personal data have been revealed. So that's something which is quite harmful and needs to be protected. And also with legal practitioners using AI, they need to be mindful of their obligations and whether they've agreed with their clients to actually forbid the use of such AI technologies. Now, with all confidential information, lawyers have obligations in relation to it, and they need to ensure that the technology that they're using is compliant, as they are also responsible for any potential misuse of that information. So whilst AI has huge potential and the capability to gather vast amounts of data and be highly efficient, there are also significant risks involved, and accordingly, with proper use of such tools, the industry can benefit from the benefits and mitigate the downsides.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for providing us this kind of thoughtful explanation of these questions. See you next time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.